name is Shurjo, and in this video I shall be talking about the intro lick from Trilogy Suite by Yngwie Malmsteen. I've been trying to play this lick for many years. Ever since I first heard it, really. That's about 18, 19 years ago, to be honest. And I've put in a lot of hours and etc. and tried very hard, and then had to give up for a number of years because I just thought I wasn't going to get it. Last few weeks, though, I've made some progress. And there are certain reasons behind that progress, and those are the reasons that I would like to share with you apart from the notes and stuff. So if you're looking for maybe a different version or maybe some sort of troubleshooting for this lick, because I certainly needed that, here's what it is. I hope you enjoy this. So the first thing I should probably do is just share the notes of the lick. The lick is in C harmonic minor, and my guitar's tuned down a half step because it's Yngwie and he tunes everything down a half step. So when I say C harmonic minor, it's actually B harmonic minor, but let me just speak according to the shapes that you see on your fretboard. All right, the notes of the C harmonic minor scale are C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, and B. It's basically a minor scale with a raised seventh. So this is how it goes. First, it's 3 notes per string. On the first and second string, it's fret number 16, 15, and 13. And then same on the second string. And then it's 12, 13, and 15, 13, 12. 12, 13, 15, 13, 12. And then finish on 12 on the G string. So this is the first part. Slower. Now the same lick is repeated 1 octave above, so the notes are remaining the same, and the fret numbers are 13, 12, 10, 13, 12, 10, 9, 10, 12, 10, 9. 13, 12, 10, 13, 12, 10, 9, 10, 12, 10, 9, and finish on 11 on the 5th string. So and now for the notes of that second part. So it's 3 on the G string, and then 10, 12, 13, 3 on the G string, 7, 8, 10, 3 on the G string, 8, 10, 12, 3 on the G string, 5, 7, 8, 3 on the G string, 7, 8, 10, and then finally 4, 5, 7. It's an alternating pattern in the scale. I'll play it slowly. So these are the problems that held me back. I'm not saying that they shall necessarily hold you or have held you back, but these are the ones I faced. I just wanted to talk about them a little bit. First is the gauge of the strings. I've played 10s for the longest amount of time, and Yngwie plays 8s. There is a difference because I could not get the left hand, right hand absolute precision at that speed, and also the amount of pressure that I needed to put on to make the note sound, leave it, go to the next note, get it to sound, leave it, whilst it's flying at that speed. And of course, for people who love Yngwie, when they hear the live is considerably faster than the studio. So imagine that not only do you have to learn to play the studio version, but then you wind up going live. It's quite something. So the string gauge was something that was an issue. The other thing which was an issue for me was I love playing blues music, and part of that heavier string gauge comes from there. And also I had a high action, quite a high action, because I really wanted to feel every bend and really wanted my fingers to just go through the rigors, as it were. So which is fine, and that served its own purpose. But it's not helpful when you're trying to play this for the same reason, because there's that extra bit of time and effort needed to fret every note, especially when it's flying by fast. The sort of composition that Yngwie does, it does not lend itself to it. I found things becoming a lot more within reach once I swapped out the 10s, I have 9s, and first and foremost, when I had the action lower, easy to go. Now, another thing is that I'm not playing 8s like Yngwie, I'm still playing 9s, but I'm able to play this on 10s also now because of the lower action. So the lower action is extremely important. Another thing is, Mr. Malmsteen is a very tall man, and he's got massive hands and big fingers. I'm not tall, I'm quite short, and even I think by my heights comparison, I have maybe average or slightly below average hands even for my height, which means that I have small fingers. I have a very good stretch because of the number of years of playing, etc., etc., and have decent strength from all these years of playing. But still, I don't have massive length. So things that he's doing with the three fingers, I'm probably using four. So there's a lot of advantages there in terms of strength, reach, and just the way he plays because of his size. See, nobody else really plays like him. So there's that. That was something that was very, very important to the string gauge, the action, and the fact that you'll have to make your own adjustments based on your hands. So I'm just going to go to the first bit of the adjustment, which is based, I mean, apart from the string gauge and the action, which is based on my hands. So when we come to this lick, this right here, there's two consecutive notes on the 12th fret. And I could not get both of them. I cannot fret them. This is where this, size of the hand, etc., all this might come into play. So the workaround for that for me was to use my second finger right on top of my index finger, something like this. So that was the first workaround that I made. Also, something to notice is that he has a very aggressive sound. His guitar tone is extremely aggressive. I've used a noise gate here to control, but he has excellent control of the volume knob, and he does not use a noise gate per se. But I think you can still hear a little bit of the noise. Sorry. If I were to switch the noise gate off, this is what it really sounds like. This is with the noise gate back on. A little bit, why that's important is because a little bit of there's tone control that he does. Like this is just to say that he's exceptional. I can't do all these things. And I wouldn't even know the first thing about telling you, apart from the fact that he's extremely quick on rolling down the volume knob. Anything that he doesn't play, he just rolls down the volume knob. If you've heard his interview with Rick Beato, he talks about how the sound of his amps just so is like an elephant because of the amount of gain and feedback and everything that happens if he's not constantly turning the guitar knob to zero. So he's amazing. He's capable of doing that. I am not, but I'm just letting you know. And the second thing which I want to talk about here is that he has an extremely relaxed right hand. Now that is something again that also is that with the relaxed right hand, he does not have a very specific picking pattern. It's not like he goes down, up, and he knows what he's doing. He's playing in all instinct. It's just the way he feels is the way he plays. And I think that the way to go for it, or like to try and cover what he's doing, is actually to take those same values and do exactly that. Go for what you feel comfortable with. So in my case, what I do is I try to alternate pick as much as possible because I like that sound of cascading, alternate picking. I like that. But when it comes to playing fast, when I'm here, I think I legato those parts. So I think I legato those parts, as you can see. So that's something, that legato. And the second thing is the finish of the phrase. This phrase, which finishes on the 7th fret, it is not possible for me to go all the way from the 7th fret to the 16th fret at that speed. Now, I have watched people cover it. I've even watched Yngwie Malmsteen play it live. He lets go of that as well. So I really don't know how to do that. Full disclosure out here, I just touch something and I go. It's like an implied lick. Okay, and another thing to notice when playing this pattern is, since it starts on a downstroke mostly, if you're alternate picking, this pattern is going to start on a downstroke. That means that you play the first three, which are the three Gs open. You play those with down, up, down, and which means that when the melodic part comes, which is either 10, 12, 13, any of them, those parts, they are being played up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up. There's a little tendency of not being exactly in sync in time when that happens. There's a little bit of that. Something to be careful about. I've made that mistake quite a few times where it's not exactly in sync and I can hear that the real punch and the crunchiness is not coming through. So it's something to be aware of and to focus on. How you troubleshoot that might be up to you. For me, sometimes I fret harder, and I'm not sure that's a good idea actually, because you want your hand to be relaxed. But that is the best that I could have come up with whatever I understand of this. So there you have it. Those are the few things that I learned while trying to get better at playing the intro lick of Trilogy suite. Maybe these are issues that you've been facing. Please don't be the fool like me and waste several years by having a higher action and thicker strings, etc., etc., especially if your physicality does not support it. Mine certainly doesn't. Make it easier on yourself. That has been said, like, by God knows how many players, especially like, I mean, there are limitations to having a high action and thicker strings. So make it easier on yourself, and then maybe it'll reveal itself to you even better, like it did me. I hope this really helps you. You can probably consider subscribing to this channel and stay invested in my journey as I try to learn all this fun stuff and share it with you. Anyway, till next time, take care, guys.